The car we've all been waiting for to make an appearance in Forza Motorsport 7 is finally here. This is it, the 2018 McLaren Senna. And boy, is it a well-deserved spot in this game. This car, if you were to buy it out of the auto show, would cost you a whopping 1.5 million credits. But obviously, as it's a highlight kind of monthly car, you can get one for free when you download it. And that's awesome if you don't have 1.5 million credits, but it's not the most expensive car and it is well worth the money. And this car in every way is just incredible. It is a track-based supercar which you can drive on the road, and it sounds impeccable. Its aerodynamics are insane. It looks incredible as well. Everything about this car is just, and I don't know. There's a very hard way. It's a very hard thing to explain because until you drive it, you don't really understand how this car drives. But anyway, let's get into the statistics. 789 horsepower. 590 foot-pounds of torque, weighing 2,800 pounds. That is that's lighter than a modern-day hatchback, and it has a lot more horsepower. The power-to-weight ratio of this thing is genuinely insane, and that gives it some incredible acceleration, incredible deceleration, incredible handling as well, and as you can see, it's a lot of fun to drive. As for grip and tyres, you get 245s on the front, 315s on the rear, and sport tyres as standard. And it is obviously rear-wheel drive. But, well, like many of McLaren's supercars nowadays, it is mid-engined with a 4-litre twin-turbocharged V8. That's not the biggest engine ever, but it's a brilliant engine, and listen to it. It sounds incredible. It can produce the amount of power it does with ease. Its acceleration is great. Speaking of acceleration, go from 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds, and 0 to 100 in a mind-boggling 5.1 seconds. In the time it took me to say that sentence, the car would have been at 100. The car would have been going quicker. The acceleration of this car is something different. It's literally like being on an aeroplane. You get that, you get a little bit of a slow kind of initial getaway because it's rear wheel drive, and then it shifts into second and it bombs it off down the runway. This car it's super duper quick. Like, I'm speechless with how quick this car is. And because it only weighs 2,800 pounds, if you were to get onto the brakes from your incredibly high speed, you would go from 60 to 0 in 119 feet, and 100 to 0 in 274 feet. The brakes in this thing are insane as well. And if you're wondering just how quick can this thing go in a straight line, well, that is a cool 210 miles an hour. Obviously it's aero limited because of the massive wing on the back of it. Imagine how much drag that thing's making, and when you're on the brakes as well, that thing lifts up and is a big board saying help me stop. This car is a scientific wonder. Like, it is a car which has just been built because McLaren can build it. All they've said is, oh, it doesn't fit any regulations, we don't care, we can build this, look what we can do. And it can do a hell of a lot. It's genuinely insane to drive. It does have a lot of mechanical grip, but the sad thing is, with Forza, they've not allowed the rear aero to have nearly as much grip as it should. And that is, if I have to say the one letdown of this car in this game, it's that Forza don't let you have the rear wing, the standard one, and for it to have good enough traction. And while you might not see it in this video, to be fair, you might not notice it, you might think, I couldn't tell that from what you're driving it. to drive, it is a little bit on edge. I mean, of course, it's got 789 horsepower going to the rear wheels, and it's only on sport tyres, so it is road legal. Just, you know, the higher speed stuff should be much better than what it is, and I'm sure it's incredible in real life. Obviously, I've not been able to drive one because I'm not that lucky, but it does suck a little bit. Anyway, the good things of this car, obviously, it's incredible acceleration, it's incredible on the brakes, and it looks, well, looks-wise, when I first heard it get announced, I was a bit confused. I was there like, McLaren, you usually build some beautiful machines, and then you come up with this. I can get why some people are like that, but now I think it's incredible looking, and everything just works for it. Like, I think the weirdest thing about it would be the glass door panels that show your legs. I'm not entirely sure why that was a design feature. But other than that, it does look pretty awesome. And I think the biggest question of this really is the car worthy of the Senna name? Obviously, Ayrton Senna being the Senna guy we're talking about here, a very, very popular Formula 1 driver, one of the most successful in the world. Obviously, his life was sadly taken away from him when he had a crash due to a lack of grip and due to a lack of aerodynamics. And this car has just come in and said, Senna, this is what you needed to get around that corner at the speeds you thought you could get around it. And, like, they've done brilliantly. It's a shame that in Forza we don't have the Interlagos circuit, which is the Brazilian Grand Prix. I would have driven around there and seen how we can go through the Senna S's, but this car, in my opinion, is definitely worthy of the Senna name. And it is stupidly quick. Stupidly quick. And it's just brilliant in every single way. If you get to see one of these things in real life, you'll know it's incredible. Anyway, we must get on to do the standard things we do in these. We do a standing quarter mile, and with a power to weight ratio and the grip it's got, it's going to be quick. As you can see, that is down the runway in a whopping 9.326 seconds, which puts it into third place, just a bit slower than Bugatti Chiron, but quicker than the Ferrari LaFerrari by 2/10. And that is a, you know, a nice place for it to be, into third place. It's got an incredible power to weight ratio, incredible grip, so that makes sense. And then we're going to do a thing that we shouldn't really be doing with this car, but it is part of the series, so we're going to do it anyway. We're going to see how much fun can you have with a McLaren Senna. It's got incredible amounts of grips, but can you bypass that level of grip? Can you have fun with it? And just looking at this now, tell me this doesn't look incredible. Seeing the Senna just, you know, perfectly touching these apex, perfectly sideways, not really having a struggle of getting sideways. Obviously, it's got 789 horsepower again. It's going to spin the rear wheels up, and it does have a lot of torque to get them rear wheels spinning. So it can have a hell of a lot of fun with it. And it does look really, really cool when you do it. The only issue is obviously it's very grippy, so it's a bit hard to kind of get past that stage of grip. And it is very easy to push a little too far and spin. But really it shouldn't really be a problem. But it kind of also is, as I nearly do here. And getting on the power, you know, can get it spun, and yeah, that happened. And then I was like, okay, let's recover it, let's make it look cool. And I spun it again. But we'll just edit that out, edit. No, it is relatively easy to drift, I found. I don't like, I'm not a drifter, I'm not very good with high-powered cars, but this thing made it very easy. It might have been the amount of traction it's got, it might have been the amount of grip it's got, but for some reason this car was very easy for me to get sideways. It was obviously very easy for me to make a mistake as well. A lot of things with a lot of horsepower will do that, but it just works and looks incredible, and sounds very good while doing it as well. and it also spits flames, as you are, I think you can see, yep, in the background there, it spits flames. The McLaren Senna spits flames. It's incredible. It's super cool, this car. I genuinely love it so much. But there we go, across the line, and where will that put us on the drift score leaderboard? It puts us into first place with 47,469 drift points over the best lap, which is nearly 7,000 more than our ex-leader, the Lincoln Continental. The most powerful thing behind that is the 2017 Ford GT in 6th place, but now we must take it to our dedicated test track, one lap around the Suzuka's full circuit, and this is a good test of if the car can do well at the slow speed, at the high speed, at the medium speed corners. Here we are into turn 1. Not a little hint of overstay. It gets around that very, very well. Lots of grip, lots of downforce. And into the S curves now, and this is probably one of the hardest bits for any car. It's a quick left, right complex where we are using the weight transfer is usually against the car, but this car handles it very, very well. As you can see, there's no hints of sliding, no hints of understeer. I don't think you can get this car to understeer. It's incredible. Coming around the Dunlop curve now, you can keep it flat out, and look at that. You've got so much turning, and even touching on the grass a tiny bit. But that's not a bad thing. Hard on the brakes into the Degners. There's a little bit of a lockup, but that's fine. It's not too much time costing. Out of the medium speed Degner, a little bit of a slide coming up to the curve now and up to the uphill hairpin. This is going to be a struggle area for the Senna. It is rear wheel drive. Can it get out without spinning its wheels? And it does spin them a tiny bit, a little bit of sideways action, as you can see from the Senna, but it does manage to find traction. And here we are now coming around a very, very quick right-hand curve. We can keep it flat again. And this car has so much grip, it can do it and get very, very late onto the brakes into spoon. And this was a very fun corner in the Senna. You can literally nail the apexes. Look at that. Look how clean that is. Nailing the apexes. It's no worries about anything. The curves, it got a little bit unhappy with on the outside there, but it was nothing to kind of kill the car. Here we are coming down the final straight, accelerating up to a cool 180 miles an hour, which is probably one of the quickest cars we've had down here, into 130R, and a little bit of brakes locking up as you just dab on the brakes to get it around the corner. It's got so much grip, it can take it nearly flat out. The wing is high up coming into the Casio triangle for the slow speed corners. Now it's not going to have as much aero downforce as we're not going through the speed air as quickly, so the aero doesn't work so well, but it can get its power down very, very quickly, very, very well, and it can get accelerated down the final straight. And now we are accelerating, and we are across the line. What time did it put in? What do you guys reckon? It goes into first place with a 2:05.949. That is 5 seconds quicker than second place, the LaFerrari. And if we go down to the last, the next kind of track car, it would be the Vulcan in third place. This car smashes every single record. Well, obviously it's at the drag record, but like, everything about this car is perfect. It's got enough grip, it's got enough acceleration, it's got incredible top speed, and I don't see a fault in this car whatsoever. If turn 10 and Forza would give this car the correct amount of aero on the stock wing, it would be perfect. But overall, this is genuinely, do I say it? Probably the best car in Forza Motorsport 7. You know, I mean, that is obviously opinion based, but from stock guys, this is probably one of the best cars to drive, one of the most fun, one of the easiest to pick up and just get in and do well and go quick in. And I don't have a bad thing to say about the car. Like, it looks incredible. I reiterate myself, it looks incredible. It looks sound incredible, drives incredibly. And if you haven't given it a try, what are you doing? You need to go and get on that. You need to just drive this thing. Just do a couple of laps in it and you will fall in love with this car, as I have. It is probably one of my favourite cars in the world, and that is trying to take a step away from the Ford GT, which is a hard thing to beat. But yeah, we've been thrown back into this YouTube thing in a very, very quick seat, of course, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, trying to get getting all the what you're seeing now, all the kind of gameplay for it, and doing the voiceover for it, and I've kind of slipped back into it. It's great, and this car was a great car to come back to YouTube in. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Well, unless I go away for a long time again. And if you if you want to see a certain car reviewed, I will happily do it. Leave it in the comments down below. And tell me, what do you think about the McLaren Senna? Do you really like it? Do you have any qualms with it? Do you think it's a terrible car? Do you think it shouldn't be in Forza Motorsport 7? Tell me down below. Anyway, that's it from me. TMDC Hyper, signing out.